Well, good evening. Wonky Astronomer here. Well, I'm in my observatory and it's 4 days until the great conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn, when they will be separated by only about 1/10 of a degree. But unfortunately, it looks like the weather is not going to be good. I did a test run photographing Saturn and Jupiter about a week ago, and since then it's been cloudy every day pretty much, so I haven't had another chance. And the forecast from now until Monday, when the conjunction occurs, cloudy every day or every night. But tonight, which is the 17th, 4 days before the conjunction, a clear sky is possible. So I figured I better do it tonight. And another bonus tonight is that the moon will also be there. Crescent moon will be just above them. Now, as I said, I did a bit of a test run about a week ago, and that was to figure out, exactly how low in the sky Jupiter and Saturn will be before I lose sight of them. And it turns out, well, I'll just show you here. This is the view out of my dome. And Jupiter and Saturn will be in this part of the sky in the southwest, and they'll come down like this, and they'll be blocked by my house when they get to about there. That pointy bit that sticks out is going to block them. And that will happen when they're about 18 degrees above the horizon. And the sun will only be about 5 degrees below the horizon at that time. So it won't be very dark. So even if it's good weather on the day, soon after sunset, they'll be blocked by the house. So I decided that to improve the situation, I would raise my telescope up to a higher level so it can, see over the roof a bit better. So what I've done here is I've raised my tripod up by extending the tripod legs to their full length, and because of that, the legs are now not sitting on these anti-vibration stones that I installed. So instead they had to sit on a separate stone over here. And I also had to take up some of the floor mats so that it could sit on a hard surface. But it does mean that my telescope is now much higher, perhaps 30 to 40 centimeters higher. And there's the view of the roof. Well, I'm now inside, and I've got my telescope pointed at the moon. You can see the moon there. It's a crescent, but it's a bit out of focus. So I'm just going to adjust the focus. Yeah, it's getting a bit nicer, a bit more contrast as it gets a little darker. It's gone. Let's check the all sky. Yeah, there's still a bit of cloud over there. This is the area I'm looking, southwest. Okay, that's looking not bad. Alright, I think I'll try going to Jupiter. See what happens. Telescope's moving. Alright, I don't see it. Could be just a little bit off the edge of the field. Oh, there it is. There's Jupiter. Okay, so Saturn is going to be, let me just bring up Sky Safari. Here's Sky Safari. Let me just set this to now. And here's what it should look like. Moon there. So Jupiter, if I've got Jupiter, say in the bottom left, my field of view, then Saturn, I hope I can fit it in the top right. So let's just move it like this. There it is. There's Saturn. They only just fit. I've rotated the camera just a little bit that way. Hang on. That way. As you can see, that cable, where the cable comes out of the camera, it was straight down. and now it's a little bit on that side. And that, I think, frames Jupiter and Saturn a little bit better. Alright, I've rotated the camera just a little bit. So I'm utilizing the diagonal dimension of the image sensor to give me the greatest field of view to fit Jupiter and Saturn in. And you'll notice that it's just been obscured by cloud again. I've got Saturn in the top right. Now Saturn is quite a bit dimmer than Jupiter, so that's why it's a little difficult to see. But I'll bring up the exposure. You can see Saturn and Jupiter, but Jupiter's a little overexposed. I think what I might do is I'll center Saturn. I'll zoom in on it. That looks terrible. Oh, that looks even worse. Well, I've just gone outside to check the cloud situation, and Jupiter and Saturn are not covered by cloud, so they must have gone behind my house. I won't see them anymore tonight, so I might as well just have a look at the moon quickly, if it's still visible. Just move the telescope. It's moving. There's the moon, just off to the side there. Just bring the exposure up and see if we can see the dark side. Yeah, you can see the side of the moon that's not in sunlight, it's in darkness, but you can actually see features on it, and that's because it's being lit up by earthshine. If you were standing there on the moon, it'd be nighttime, but you would see a big gibbous earth in the sky, 4 times bigger than the moon is to us, and that would provide a lot of light. You can see a ray crater there. I think that's the crater Copernicus, and you see the rays coming out from it where the material's been thrown out in all directions. On the limb there you can see these bright dots, which is where the mountain peaks are just catching the sunlight, whereas the ground around them is still in shadow. Alright, let me bring exposure down a bit. Have a look at the bright part of the moon. Yeah, and it doesn't look very good. It's low in the sky. Seeing is very bad. You can see a few craters there. Yeah, you see that shimmering. That's terrible. It's caused by the air that we're looking through. It's often particularly bad at the end of a hot day because you've got hot air currents rising, causing a lot of turbulence. Well, there you have it. The conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn. Well, actually it's not for another 4 days, but tonight's view might be the best that I'll get based on the weather forecast.